Cheers and salutations. Welcome one and all to Americans Learn. And hey, follow through is always key. So before we get started, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that ring bell notification. That way all of you are made aware when we upload new content upon our YouTube channel. And today, we have ourselves a video titled, and I want to make sure I pull it up properly, To Hell and Back, Audie Murphy by Sabaton History number 4. That's right, we're going back in order. So yes, follow through is key. I know I've been kind of going out of order when I promised I would stay in order. But the reason why we do is because sometimes there's a video that really stands out, or a viewer, like all of you, would ask us to check out a certain video. So you know what? We really do respect you fans a lot. We respect all the contributions and support helping us build up this channel, and for that we are grateful, thankful that all of you are so faithful. But I have to follow through on my promises and stay in order, so we're starting with number 4, To Hell and Back, Audie Murphy, Sabaton History. And again, you know what else? Shout out to all of you cool people, because without all of you, I would not be aware. Let me start over. I would not be made aware of this awesome channel. So grab yourself a tasty snack and a tasty beverage, and let's get ready to check out To Hell and Back, Audie Murphy, Sabaton History number 4, in a 3, a 2, a 1.
I'm Indy Nidell.
And I'm Joachim from Sabaton. And this is Sabaton History.
Audie Murphy, when he joined the U.S. Army, was very much an unlikely hero, and yet he became America's most decorated soldier of the Second World War.
And we have a song about him. It's called To Hell and Back, and it's one of our most popular songs.
Now, he's going to tell you about the song To Hell and Back. I'm going to tell you about Audie Murphy. As I said, Audie was an unlikely hero. He was an elementary school dropout, doing so in order to support his family by working on a farm after his father had left them.
Oh.
He was short, he was sickly, and lived a life of poverty and lost his mother as a teen.
Jeez.
Joining the military seemed an escape to him, so he tried to enlist at the age of 16 after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. According to Army records, he was rejected by the Marines and the Navy as too small and too underweight. He was just 5'5" and weighed but 110 pounds. Interestingly enough, they don't mention him being underage, and I assume that he lied about that. The Army actually doesn't mention him ever falsifying papers and says he joined a few days after his 18th birthday.
Wow.
But since he was born in 1925, he joined the Army in 1942, well, do the math. He had shown remarkable rifle skills early on, hunting small game on the farm, and this was noticed in basic training. And it did in fact seem that despite his size, he was a born soldier, tough, capable, and determined to prove himself. In the spring of 1943, he was trained in Morocco and Algeria for Allied landings in Sicily. The fighting there was vicious, and Murphy soon made a name for himself as a warrior.
So, first and foremost, again, the campaign in Italy was extremely brutal. There's an old school film, and I'm probably going to get it wrong, and that's where all of you hip cool cats are going to have to correct me. I could probably pull it up on my phone, but hold on. It's an old school film about Canadian and Army forces working together to remove the Germans out of Italy. Yes, 1968, The Devil's Brigade. It's a great film. I recommend it. Check it out. It's been a while since I've seen it now, but it's a good film.
From Texas, a man of the wild, thrown into combat where bodies lie piled. Hides his emotions, his blood's running cold. Just like his victories, his story unfolds.
The Allied invasion of Italy had bogged down by the end of 1943. The Germans held fast on the Gustav defense line, and under Field Marshal Kesselring successfully fought off the Allied advances during the ongoing Battle of Monte Cassino. British and American High Command wanted to open a new front to bypass the line and outflank the Germans. If doing so could also cut their supply lines, it would force them to abandon Monte Cassino and eventually be pushed out of Italy. On January 22, 1944, the American 3rd Infantry Division approached the beach south of the town of Anzio, while the British landed north of the town. The, by now, Sergeant Audie Murphy of the 15th Regiment of 3rd Division would join the combined British, American, and Canadian attack force in the second wave. The landings were made in secrecy. By midnight, the men had advanced a few miles inland, confronted only by a surprised company of German soldiers who offered little resistance. Major General Lucas, in overall control of the operation, ordered his forces to stop, not really believing that they had actually achieved total surprise and could march into the German flank. Instead, he chose to stay put, strengthen his beachhead, and wait for reinforcements. It is debated whether Lucas was too cautious, but a strong German force was actually already soon to arrive. The Germans were surprised by the landings, but were not in disarray. Kesselring had made plans for such a contingency and sent out General Eberhard von Mackensen's 14th Army to face this new threat south of Rome. And yes, he was the son of August von Mackensen, whom all my Great War Channel fans will remember very well.
All right, is this a channel we should check out? War Channel? Type in the comment section below. Should we see it? Because obviously there is a little bit more inside information that I need to be made well aware of. But also, look, not to be an armchair general, but sometimes being too cautious is what can cause immediate defeat. So always be bold. It's okay to be cautious, but don't be too cautious. After all, fortune favors the brave, and greatness waits for no one.
Allied High Command was frustrated by Lucas's hesitation, for it took 7 days of infantry and armor coming ashore before he ordered an advance. By then, the Germans had fortified their positions, causing heavy losses to the advancing British and Americans. Mackensen then began his own attack to push the Allies to the sea. The Germans were actually close to achieving this, but the Allied defenders kept them at bay. Well, on March 2nd, Murphy had marched his platoon to a strategic crossroads near Anzio.
And all along the shore, where cannons still roar, they're haunting my dreams, they're still there when I sleep.
Waiting in the ruins of a farmhouse, he spotted at least a dozen panzers coming down the road and called in an artillery strike, which disabled the lead tank. Murphy shot one of the crew members, but the rest retreated with the other tanks. Upon returning to camp, Murphy's commander wanted them to go back and actually destroy the tank. Armed only with improvised Molotov cocktails and grenades, Murphy and his platoon approached again at night. He crawled towards the Panzer, but the Molotovs failed to do the job. The hand grenade he threw did explode inside the tank, but also alerted a German patrol. After throwing more grenades at the tank treads, Murphy sprinted through German fire back to his comrades. For destroying the tank in the face of the enemy, he was awarded the Bronze Star with the V for Valor.
Outstanding work. Bravery.
To not only overcome the stalemate, but to break through the German lines, the Allies resorted to a major offensive all over Italy, an attempt to shatter German resistance with a combined attack. They made two plans. Plan A, Turtle, said that once the breakthrough happened at Anzio, they would advance to outflank and hopefully encircle von Kesselring's forces. Plan B, Buffalo, was an alternative. After the breakthrough, the Anzio forces would not try to destroy the German forces there, but would advance on Rome instead. High Command insisted on Plan A, since if it was successful, it would basically win the fighting for Italy, right? On May 23rd, the Allies attacked the Germans all along the Gustav Line, ruining their deployment.
Hold on, we're rewinding that real quick.
23rd, the Allies attacked.
There's Elmer Fudd. Hey, bub. Can you imagine that? Like, you know, Allied bombers, and they got like all the cartoon characters giving a whooping to the Third Reich.
attacked the Germans all along the Gustav Line, ruining their deployment of reserves. The Anzio forces broke through in the west, but while everyone in the center of Italy was waiting for the follow-up flanking attack, General Mark Clark suddenly stopped. Plan Buffalo was tempting, and the glory of capturing Rome, though strategically unimportant, would belong to the Americans.
Oh, come on.
Adolf Hitler had ordered Rome to be undefended and declared it an open city. It is unclear whether he wanted to save the city from destruction or feared another Stalingrad where his army would be trapped. Whatever the case, to the surprise and anger of Allied high command, Clark turned and marched on Rome. So, as the German defenses collapsed on June 2nd, Kesselring's 10th Army fell back and escaped being surrounded and destroyed. They were able to join the other German forces and fight another day. On the 5th, Clark entered Rome with only his American troops, intentionally leaving the British outside the city. Now, Audie Murphy gained a reputation during his service in Italy as a brave and daring soldier, and the
Okay, first of all, I had no idea that we had a general that decided to get glory for himself. You're not Julius Caesar. You're not Augustus. You're not the great Mark Antony. You were given a job and a task, and now the Germans are going to fight another day. It doesn't matter because Rome's not important. Even though Rome is the eternal city, it wasn't important at the time.
Sabaton song To Hell and Back covers his period at Anzio. But even greater deeds of heroism were still about to come during the fighting in France, including taking on an entire company of Germans by himself, wounded, with a machine gun. By the end of the war...
What the hell? Jesus Christ, Audie Murphy. I'm sorry, I gotta bring up a Warhammer 40k reference. The God Emperor of mankind shined upon this man.
Lieutenant Audie Murphy was the most decorated American combat soldier and had earned every single...
Wow. Jeez Louise. I have to salute his bravery. This is a true warrior.
Valor Award possible, including the Medal of Honor and Legion of Merit. His exploits even got him on the cover of Life magazine.
Congratulations.
But like many other soldiers, the war would never really leave him. He did become a worldwide movie star, playing himself in To Hell and Back, the title of his biography. But Murphy also suffered severely with what we now call post-traumatic stress disorder. He was traumatized by the violence and death that surrounded him. He saw his best friend die, killed many men by his own hand, and survived situations of such danger that none of us can truly imagine them.
No.
He suffered nightmares because of the horrors he witnessed, and indeed the guilt he felt. He wrote poetry to help cope with the trauma. One of his best known is The Crosses Grow on Anzio, written in 1948. Oh, gather around me, comrades, and listen while I speak of a war where hell is 6 feet deep. Along the shore the cannons roar. Oh, how can a soldier sleep? The going slow on Anzio, and hell is 6 feet deep. Praise be to God for this captured sod that rich with blood does seep, with yours and mine like butchered swines, and hell is 6 feet deep. That death awaits, there's no debate, no triumph will we reap. The crosses grow on Anzio, where hell is 6 feet deep. Audie Murphy died in a plane crash at the age of 45 in 1971.
Hang on, give me a minute. I gotta compose myself for a second. Okay. If you've been following Americans Learn from the beginning, I think I might have mentioned in 1 or 2 videos that I myself am a former Marine. I did 2 tours in Iraq, And I'm proud to say all of us came home alive and well, one piece. And my MOS was infantry, but no heavy combat. Everyone came home. We got very, very lucky. So somebody upstairs likes me, or I won the lottery. I don't know which one it is. But I do know people who also served in different units who were not as lucky as I was. I've also known people who served in different wars who saw the horror of it. And I think it's important that we do address PTSD and what needs to be done to help veterans who are struggling with it, okay? And I got to be careful with these words, but I think you'll know what I mean. But currently now amongst veterans, self-deletion, I think we know the real word, guidelines, got to be careful what to say, is at, unfortunately, an all-time high amongst veterans. And I think it's important that if you are a veteran that's struggling with PTSD, there are groups and organizations that will help. There are people who will listen. I know that this world seems cruel. I get it. I know it. The world is very cruel, but there are good people. All right. So long as it's just important that we do help each other out. Okay. That eventually things do get better. I had no idea about this gentleman, Audie Murphy. He lived a full life, as much as he could at the age of 45, passed away in 1971. But he came home, had a chance to be part of film and cover of Life magazine, which is incredible. But I think it's important that we also address the fact that he was battling PTSD, and I think we need to really address it more so in this country now, because there are veterans who are struggling, who are alone, and we need to help. So I know that there are organizations out there, and I think also we need to hold our officials accountable to do more for veterans, but wow. Wow, that poem really cut to the core. And wow. I don't think I have anything else I could say. I wasn't expecting this one for Sabaton history. Yeah.
And actually, about a year ago, I went to Arlington National Cemetery outside of Washington, D.C. Quite a nice place. You been there?
I have actually been there, yeah, but not for many, many years. And that you were there because that's where Audie is buried.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, Audie's buried there.
And well, that's kind of cool that you would pay your respects, especially, based on the song. Now, you said earlier when we were talking that you had contact with Audie Murphy's son.
Yeah, he came to one of our shows in the Greek Theater in L.A., actually. He gave us one of the To Hell and Back movie posters from back in the day.
Okay, first of all, that is an awesome movie poster. I don't know about y'all, but I do like that kind of 1950s kind of movie poster where they really put the art in the movie posters. How many of y'all missed that?
Okay, so that was
and it's in Technicolor too. Magnifique.
pretty brilliant.
Now, this song is one of your biggest songs.
Yes.
Right? Was that planned? I mean, when you wrote it, did you say this is going to be the single, or how did that work out? Or was it a surprise?
Well, it was a surprise for most people, but I had this idea that I wanted to mix, spaghetti western music, like Ennio Morricone style music, with heavy metal. Everybody in the band thought I was crazy. As we were doing research for the album Heroes, we found out that this guy, who was one of the most decorated soldiers in World War II, was actually also a Western movie star.
And a Texan like me.
Hey, Texas. Shout out to the Texas people out there.
Yes. So that worked out perfectly, and I think it's one of the songs I'm most proud of, actually.
Now, I was talking to Perry, your bandmate, and he said something that his son was happy that you not done just a country song about him again, like a folky country
Yeah,
song.
it seemed he was a little bit tired of the country ballads, another ballad of his father.
You know, side note, I am happy that Audie Murphy actually had a chance to have a son of his own and be a better man than his father. Because as earlier in the video, Audie Murphy's father abandoned his family, and so the farm and everything else. So that's good. That's good that the name still lives on, and life does go on.
And we
celebrate hard-hitting metal.
Yeah, we're sort of celebrating his memory instead of crying over it.
Once again, To Hell and Back, the story of Audie Murphy and his exploits at Anzio is on the album Hero.
And that's it for today.
But we'll see you next time on Sabaton History.
All right, everyone, that's it for today. Remember to subscribe to Sabaton History, the regular Sabaton channel, and also check out Time Ghost and World War II. Right here, you got some more clips to click on if you want to see more. Mm-hmm. And you want to, yeah?
Yes, we do.
So before we say goodbye, remember to support us on Patreon, okay? That's what makes stuff like this happen. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you all on the road.
Fantastic. All right. Well, this was an incredible video. So first, number one, thank you to the audience for once again bringing up this channel in one of the Sabaton music videos that we checked out here on this channel. Number two, wow, I was unaware of Audie Murphy and his story. So to the audience, because all of you seem to be more on point in this than I am, is there any other kind of videos about Audie Murphy that we should check out? Yes, we do read the comment section. So your feedback will be fundamentally important because, I kind of want to know a little bit more about what he did past Italy. I know he served in France, and obviously there's only so much that they could put into this 12-minute video, but it would be interesting to know more about who he was, what's his story, and would you also would you like it if we if we checked out and listened to the song To Hell and Back by Sabaton sometime later on in this channel? Your feedback's important. And finally, look, if you know someone that's struggling with PTSD, or if you're a veteran that's struggling, there are organizations and people that will help. I know it's easy for me to say this from here in the screen looking at this camera, but the first step is getting help and reaching out, and it can be done. And I also want to give a thank you to Sabaton History, and also the way that poem it really hit to my heart. I was kind of left speechless about that. And well, I don't know what else to say, but this was probably so far one of the videos that really made a huge impact. I'm gonna probably have to look back at this. So to you, the audience, if this is the kind of content you guys and gals like, type in the comment section below. Your feedback is fundamentally important. Until then, folks, take care of each other. Do that. Take care of each other. And now more than ever, have a good day. I'm Kit. This has been Americans Learn. Oh, one last thing. Boom. One last thing. The original link is in the description box below, so please support Sabaton History. Come on, do the right thing. As a favor for me, how about this? At the end of this video, if you're not subscribed to Sabaton History or you're not following Sabaton, get to it right now. Get to it right now. Go ahead, do it. As a favor for me. I'll think you're awesome. Because you want to know why? You already are awesome.